Uh-oh. It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because...
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface? I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Are you hurt? Let me take a look. Oh, you're here. I apologize. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. If I were in his shoes, I might well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate. No, but I used to think we were so close that we may as well have been. I actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't until I was adopted by an overworld family that life changed for me. My adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood, and Vash loved me like a sister. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were... He was gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could be absurdly obsessive, like a completely different person. Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize and comfort me. I didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked when you told me. If you fail to make a clean break with the past creeps up on you. That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belobog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains. I do admire his vision and perseverance, even though blizzard immunity always seemed unachievable to me. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research, but I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, their bodies reacted differently to hot. He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard immunity. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness, that doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into... Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. My judgment was clouded by trust in a loved one. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside the city to the snow plains, his figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother, and let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Choice isn't as elusive as it seems.
The thief has stolen parts again? Oh, it's you! There have been a few unusual thefts in the dwelling of the vagrants say that the parts they worked so hard to obtain have completely vanished. Despite our investigations, no one has been able to track down the thief. What's even stranger is that the thief appeared the vagrants had no choice but to ask Mr. Svarog to look into it. But he still hasn't found anything. Jeez. I'm baffled. Are you also here to look into this case? Perhaps if we work together, we can uncover some clues that it's just... I haven't found enough clues yet. The thief is really... Oh! I heard the vagrants on patrol last night ran across the thief again, but I haven't had time to look into it. You sound so cool. You're like one of the characters from Mr. Svarog's movies. Seeing you so fired up has me excited too. Now... Sir, how are you? I heard...
Who's there? Oh, Clara, it's you. I thought it was... I did see the thief last night, but who is this person next to you? Trailblazer? Oh, I know. You're the outsider who's made a name for themselves around. Oh, wow. I feel way better knowing that a big shot like you is here to catch the thief. Okay, so, last night I was on patrol when I bumped into the thieves. Goodness, I was so scared. I was cold and hungry while on patrol last night, so I decided to return to the dwelling and heat up some leftover canned food for a snack. But when I entered the tent, the thief's silhouette scurried across my vision. I couldn't see the thief's face because the tent was so dark, but I could tell he wasn't a nice guy. Because when he turned to flee, he swung a knife. I could feel the blades chill on my cheeks and smell its rusty scent. The weapon that fella had was definitely a metal one. Also, I saw the outline of him in the dark. The fella's head was absolutely square. Can you believe that? Someone with a square head? It was true.
Oh, you're right. Sir, please take a deep breath. So, the thief was armed with a metal weapon.
Yes!
I'm struggling to make sense of these clues. Do you have any thought?
I'm sorry. I was too scared. When a shadow leaps out at you, who could possibly pay attention to such
It seems that's everything. We now know one of the...
Yes, I remember something. While the culprit was hurrying to escape, he knocked something over.
This is a crucial clue. Let's go investigate the crime scene together.
I think he ran that way. No one has touched the crime scene, so any traces he left behind should still be there.
Take a look at these marks. These are very suspicious. They point in that direction. Let's go take a... And look at these. How unusual. They...
I've no interest in conflict.
What about this?
Nap time.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
The tracks stop here. I guess we'll have to look around for other clues. This is where the mechanical waste is disposed of, though. Could it... Oh, okay. I'll follow you. Let's split up. Wait. It's a tiny robot? Is it searching for something? But it looks like it's carrying the vagrant's missing parts and those tracks and metal scratches we noticed earlier. That would be quite a small robot. Doesn't appear to be a Bellabog creation. It looks like it's been welded together from random scrap metal materials. Ah! It's noticed us!
Human. Injured. No. Hurt.
I don't understand what it's saying. It appears to be trying to say something. Is it trying to say, please don't hurt me, human?
Human. Parts. Rivet. Parts. Need.
It appears to have a malfunction, but I think it seems that it needs these parts, and it's begging us not to hurt. I've never seen a robot with this kind of malfunction before. Although the small robot appears to want to communicate, perhaps there's an issue with its language module. This little guy probably can't understand what we're—
Run. Escape. Open. Fire. Workshop.
It's running away! No, we can't let it escape. It still has the vagrant's parts. What should we do? We gotta stop it. But please don't be too rough on it.
Hurt. Pain. No. Hurt. Don't. Pain.
This is our chance.
Sorry. Hurt. Suffer. Pain.
Why?
Sorry. Hey.
It seems to have stopped working. Yes, but why? I feel bad about this. I guess we should return this little fella and the parts. I think I can... I'll repair it. And if I can't, I'll ask Mr. Svarog for help. He always knows what to do.
Initiating assessment of the robot's condition. Please.
While Mr. Svarog is assessing this little fella, let's give it a quick checkup ourselves. This paint job and these custom parts. But one thing is for certain. This little fella is not under remote control. Its design is, well, unique. It really seems like something that was thrown together rather quickly. Its creator most likely didn't consider whether the system would function properly or not. Is it a failed robot pet creation that has been abandoned? But if it's a pet, then why would it gather parts itself? I've heard that some vagrants in the dwelling keep the little robots they find as pets. Some vagrants also make modifications to their pets, which they call pets. Pets like that are pretty rare, but some of the folks who have them have formed a small community to share ideas. Some are interested in nurturing robots. If my memory serves me right, the parts this little fella stole were originally designed for that kind of pet upgrade. The vagrants, or to be more accurate, the majority of the people in the underworld, but I disagree. Robots have their own thoughts and feelings. It's great that you understand what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I just suddenly felt some strong emotion. This Jack's placement is odd. The chip is buried deep inside.
Assessment of the robot's condition is complete. The shell damage is estimated to be 98.2. The assessment concludes that a total recovery is impossible. It is recommended that the robot's external shell be removed and replaced, while keeping the outer circuitry and related...
You can always rely on Mr. Svarog to come up with a brilliant idea. So, I guess we'll have to go find a new robot shell to fix it. I'm not sure if anyone sells this kind of thing. However, there must be some robot shells lying around the machine graveyard. Everyone calls it a graveyard, but there are actually lots of useful parts buried there. I'm gonna return the parts to the vagrants first. Then I'll check on the little fella. Can I... Really? You could have what it takes to be a prospector. Then, I'll entrust this task to you, big brother. Look for Toby at the front entrance. His appearance is... crude, but he's the robot most familiar...
Hello, guests of Miss Clara. Please do as you wish. It's mine. Miss Clara has assigned me the task of planning your sightseeing route in the machine graveyard. Would you like to engage in super speed mode? If so, please confirm by spinning counterclockwise 10 times, then clockwise by 207.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
This is our chance.
That'll take more than medicine.
Rules are made to be broken!
Nap time.
Unworthy of my time.
Let's make it...
Step aside. I have no... What about this?
Savor the vigor of it.
Past victories don't guarantee future ones. Clemency? Never heard of it. The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
This is our chance.
Rules are made to be broken! Decisive strike!
You're in bad shape.
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
Step aside. I have... About this!
Try harder.
Time for a savor the vigor of it.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
We have arrived at our
Robot pet battles sound a little frightening. The inside of the armor is a total mess due to being melted by the heat. Unfortunately,
We are on our way to the second destination.
Worth our while.
Caution! You have exceeded the speed limit. Please obey Bellabog traffic laws. On the road, safety is the top priority.
Clemency? Never heard of it.
let's go.
Rules are made to be broken!
I'm okay. Naughty children, don't let
Tedious.
Step aside. I have no...
This is our chance. Reach the end of the story in your own way. No match for me.
We have arrived at our second destination. This machine was scrapped because it accelerated erratically for 7.1
That is such an odd reason to be scrapped. However, the shell appears to be in good condition. So I'll bring...
Your trip has concluded. Please keep an eye out for vehicles approaching from the back or sides. As your trip has concluded. I appreciate you putting your trust in Toby. A 5-star review for this trip has been automatically generated for you. You're welcome.
Keep at it. Keep at it.
Clara, it's time for a break. You shouldn't repair machines when you have negative emotions. It's bad for your physical and mental health.
Don't worry, Mr. Svarog. I'm fine. Oh, you're back already. How did it go? Did Toby... This shell... It doesn't appear to be the same design as this, but it shouldn't matter. The structures of these small robots are nearly identical. Thank you for bringing this to me. I finished extracting that chip from the small robot. Now, all that's left to do is move all this circuitry into the new... Although its appearance has changed a lot, I think we did a good job. But what I just did...
Not compatible. Incompatible.
Huh? It's making a strange sound.
Incompatible.
What's going on? Is it...
Incompatible. Incompatible.
Risk level high. Clara, get away now.
Big brother, watch out! It's out of control!
Incompatible. Incompatible.
Life and death.
Incompatible. Incompatible.
It's but a vision.
This is our chance.
Terminate.
Phew. That was close. Fortunately, Mr. Svarog and Big Brother acted fast. Why did the little fella... What?
Troubleshooting. Assessment. The system on the chip and the new hardware are incompatible, causing the robot to behave erratically. The current issue has been resolved. Risk level low.
It appears to have adjusted to its new shell after the battle, but I'd like to keep a closer eye on it for a while. Compatibility tests should take a few days. I'm also curious about where this little fella came from. Could you please come back later, Big Brother? I need to look into something. I may require your assistance. Thank you, Big Brother. I'll text you when this little fella is fixed. Mr. Svarog, I'd like to give this little fella a name.
Accessing name database. Search results.
I should come back to Clara later.